Yo, what's good, boys? Welcome to a new video. First of all, Merry Christmas, and I hope you're having a good time with your family and your loved ones. If you're kind of alone like me, like we are here. We're having a good time too. So yeah, I hope you are having a good one, boys. Let's go and analyze this hunt. This is from my friend Leukino. He requested a hunt analysis, and we are going to do it. So first things first, he has it's going to sound harsh, but for a Bathar standard, he has a bad character, right? He's level 450 almost, and he has magic level 100, which is pretty low. Again, for Bathar standard, if you're like leveling yourself, it's really decent, and you shouldn't be discouraged. But I'm speaking the truth, boys. It is what it is. It sounds wrong, but it is what it is. So, as for Will, we are using GOL with Teraur amplification, so this makes Teraur deal more damage. I'm not a big ED, uh, like I'm not really pro ED, but I think you should be going with Ulus. I think GOL is a mistake, in my opinion. I would defend GOL because you get GOL, of course, and then you get tons of HP from the minor nodes. But again, you have tons of HP here. So I think Ulus is superior, but like I don't know. If you prefer to go with Joel, go with Joel, but I'm pretty sure Ulus is better. So that's the wheel. Then let's see some charms or gear or whatever. So we are going. Okay, so this is the stats. This is made so that we see that he doesn't use any Tibia Drum potions or anything, because you could be sneaky and try to lie to people on the internet. In Tibia, that's pretty common. So this basically makes it so that you can see that the Leukino is not using any Tibia Drum potions or anything. Okay, so as for charms, we have low blow, alright, so it doesn't matter. And then we have minor charms, we don't have minor charms. So the reason low blow is not going to matter that much here is because he only has one charm. Like it's a bad charm to have in a 3 mob respawn, and he only has one, so it doesn't really matter. It's not going to affect XP. So let's see the gear. We are using Gnome Helmet. We're using Raiment, BBBBB. Okay, so the gear is solid. Um, excuse me. I would change the amulet and I would change the ring. And also, I noticed that he's not using powerful epiphany. What the hell, bro? Okay, so judging by this, I'm going to assume he's like saving for something, right? And he doesn't want to waste. But like I think the epiphany is like mandatory in my opinion. At this level range, you are going to make enough money to pay for it. But so what I would change in a perfect scenario would be a slip shoal, no, theurgic amulet here. I would go with either primal, even if it's uncharged. Primal is pretty good, and I would go with plasma if you don't have primal, and then of course I would go with powerful epiphany. You're missing probably like 10 magic levels right now or something like that. It's actually noticeable. You want to get out of low level as fast as possible, because at higher level you make more XP, you make more profit, everything is better. So just waste quote unquote now, and then you'll get what you saw. You will reap what you sow. So let's see the gameplay. So things I saw in Warrior Crocodiles, it can get a little bit hard for people to hunt here because you have tons of passages, even though they are not super narrow. The density is pretty big, and you can get you can leave behind some mobs, but Leukino is doing a really, really good job here. So I want you to pay attention to the tempo he's using here. So he did here a little detail, which is important. So notice how he's like every single attack, he's doing like tick, tick. Like tick, tick is a movement. So he's moving, moving, he stops, moving, moving, he stops. Right. So pay attention here. He moves, boom, tick, tick, bam, tick, tick, bam. Okay, and then notice how the movement previous to the UE is like forward, right? So he's moving, he stops, he's moving, he stops, he's moving. Now he UEs, and instead of keep moving, he just, you'll see that he wanders there. The reason you want to quote unquote wait or stop the pull when you UE is that if you keep moving forward, you're going to get closer to the next pack of mobs, but your mobs are not decreasing. Like the HP of your mobs are not decreasing. And what will this will lead in a sandwich. You will have your previous pull behind you and then the new pull forward. So you don't want to do that. Do this. You want to um every time you UE, you want to kind of like stop the pull, right? So you'll see here he, instead of going west, which he normally should be going to because there's the next pull, he's going north. He stops here and then he goes. You see, like now he can attack, so he resumes the kiting, which I think is really solid. This is a really good start of the video. I think this is a really good thing to talk about because this is like a minor thing that you do, some people don't do, and this is actually huge. So as you can see now, what happens is that most of the mobs are red HP when the new pool is approaching. You see, like this panther, and this, these are new mobs. They are here when this pool is already dead. So now you don't have this like super big issue where the mobs are going to get bottlenecked here. Okay, so this is really really nice, really good demonstration of how you should keep the tempo up in your hands. Okay, this is really good. Okay, yeah, I was going to say in the previous pool he was not out attacking. I think he's targeting the mobs, but okay, so this is something that a lot of mages don't do, and I actually think they are playing bad. Again, Tibia is, like just the thing in Tibia is to play. So if auto attacking with a mage is going to make you not want to play the game, don't auto attack. But if you're chasing perfection, if you're chasing like the full potential of your character, you should be auto attacking on a mage. It's super important. Here in his scenario is the worst example of important. Why? Because you don't have charms, so you are not proccing extra charms, and it's not going to like impact a lot the hunt. But so you get an idea, I did some maths. Again, these maths are kind of bro science because we are not going to get too deep into it, but basically it's a way to try and get how much HP XP I was losing if I didn't out attack. So it's not 100% certain, but like the value is around. Basically, with my MS on Flimsies, I was losing around 3% XP by not out attacking without accounting charms. I can make a different video about this if you want to, but know that auto attacking with a mage is important, not as an EK or as an RP. They are way more important there, but for mages it's important too. The higher you get, the easier it is because the soul weapon and the sanguine weapon, the range of the weapons are crazy, and you are not, like there's no reason why you wouldn't use the auto attack. With Cobra Wand or Lion Wand or whatever you are using, I understand because the range is pretty short and it's pretty annoying to do so. But it's a good practice to start on doing it. So yeah, I just wanted to mention if you can start practicing the auto attack because it's really important. Okay. Okay, pretty solid so far. Pretty solid. He's using the UE on cooldown, which is pretty good. Here I would summon a Pedrito because this is a pretty narrow. He going to Pedrito? Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, he's clicking the Pedrito. Come on, Lupino, bro. Okay, Pedrito. Sorry, it's a community meme. It's a summon, right? Why do we as mages use summon when we are hunting solo? Summon again, not pet. Okay, the pet is the familiar. We are not talking about familiar right now. We're talking about summons. You can see if you are watching library gameplay, you can see that they use blood crabs. You can see that some people use demon skeletons, some people use I don't know. You use all sort of summons. The reason why you want Pedrito in a hunt, in a solo hunt, is so that the mobs keep following you. What I mean by this is, let's get the paint going. Yo, mess paint. Let's get some paint action, right? So let's say we have this passage here, which is really narrow because we only have 3 SQMs, right? And we want to go this way, yes, and we have tons of mobs here. So what is going to happen eventually, if we just move forward, is that they are going to align, creating a bottleneck, and the mobs that are here trying to get past this bottleneck are trying to calculate the route to you, right? Like they want to get a path towards you. So they are calculating and they are seeing, oh, okay, there's no way I can go to him. So they are going to start to wander like a couple of turns. They are going to wander, right? Like they are going to go up, down, left, right, a couple of turns. And if it after that it keeps like being blocked, they still have no path, they are going to go back to their spawn location. So the use of Pedrito basically makes it so that they have an additional target. This additional target will most likely, right, if you use it properly, you should, here should be Pedrito, and here you're, this is you, right, this guy is you, and this is Pedrito, your summon, and they are here. So they are calculating, and they calculate the path, they hit this block here, and they say, okay, there's no path to our current target, which is the player, but this Pedrito is a friend of our target. So we are going to try and jump Pedrito, right? So this, instead of making the mobs wander, they are going to retarget Pedrito and they are going to, slap Pedrito. And that's something you want to do because you want target like your pool. You want to maintain the focus of your pool on you so that they don't go back. If you don't do the Pedritos, what actually happens is that you end up losing mobs. So if you are hunting and you, this happens with Paladin too. If you feel like you are losing mobs, this is the reason why you should be using Pedritos. Now, here Leukino is freaking clicking the Pedrito, bro. That hurts my soul. He clicks the Pedrito, and in my opinion, he used Pedrito a little bit later. So if you use Pedrito here, he like, if you use Pedrito, I would use it here, I would say, right? So if you use it here, there's a high chance that Pedrito summons here, like appears north. So all these mobs that are going to get blocked here, you'll see, like now, you see this? This is a bottleneck, and these guys are not going to be able to go here. But if Pedrito would be here, then the next turn, these guys would target Pedrito because here there's a bottleneck here too. They would target Pedrito, which would change their movement, and then this SQM here in this diagonal would be available for you. So these guys would go to you. It's a little bit hard to explain, but you see, like now we have bottleneck. Did you see this guy, like this panther right here? He went up. Why did he went up? Because he did not have any path towards you. You see, like now this is logically, even though visually you see that this guy is not here, he's already there. Because how computer things like right now this is a bottleneck, so all these guys are not going to target you. So now they are calculating the next path to you, and see how this panther moves. He says, oh, there's no way, so I'm going up because I'm wandering. I lost target, I cannot reach it, so I go north. You see, either way, this Pedrito is good. Why? Because he's going away from the skinning. So right now, these guys don't know of the existence of Leukino. They have already forgotten Leukino. But this Pedrito reminds, like, his Pedrito is, yo, bro, I'm Leukino's friend. Hello, I'm over here. So these guys, even though they are not in Leukino's screen, they are seeing a target. So they are going to go for Pedrito. And you'll see this here. You see how these mobs that shouldn't be there anymore, they are still there because they have a target, which is Pedrito, right? So this is really important. You see, like he didn't lose like all the pool because of that, because he did a really good job of holding the aggro with Pedrito. I think this is a really good skill. You can see Pedrito used a lot in Reaper Spectres, in Flimsies. I think even in Dragons you use Pedrito. Generally, if you see a spawn with passages, you should be using Pedrito. Just give it a try. It gets a little bit clunky sometimes because Pedrito sometimes spawn in front of you, or it just gets absolutely demolished. But generally speaking, Pedrito is really useful, and I think that more people should be using it. So yeah, this pool was really good, was really decent. I would personally use Pedrito a little bit earlier, but it was a good usage of Pedrito nonetheless. Okay, and now what we do, we go in south. Okay, that makes sense. This is good pathing. I like it so far. Okay. Let's speed it up a little bit if I can. Okay, this is solid so far. Okay, this was okay. So this is another thing. I call this tiki taka. Basically, tiki taka means you go back and forth in an SQM really quick, and this way you force the movement of the mob. So let's say Leukino here stands here and waits for this crocodile to go north. That's probably not going to happen because he's already hitting him, right? And what would happen is that, again, this is a bottleneck. So these mobs right here would lose interest in Leukino and they would wander going south, right, to their spawn point. So what you can do is the tiki-taka, which is up, down, and this will force the movement of this guy. So when you are in the north SQM, this guy is going to say, oh, I cannot auto-attack Leukino anymore, so I'm going to move up. And if he moves up, um, the mobs down, they're going to be able to access through the diagonal, right? So as you can see here, he does the tiki taka once, it doesn't work. You do again, and now this guy thought that Leukino was getting away, so he tried to follow Leukino, opening this spot, and now these guys can access you. So this is a subtle technique, but this is really used a lot in well, I was going to say in high level, but general gameplay, I would say this is a pretty basic, but it's something that if you don't know how it works, there's that. So here you could use Pedrito too for this narrow passage, but he did well without Pedrito. Okay, this is fine. I would start going north now. Okay, bit slow in my opinion. Okay, this is bad in my opinion. Okay, you don't want to loot this. You don't care about this loot right now. You will loot it next lap. So here you are losing tempo. You should be going north now. You should be around here at this point because these mobs are going to die in the next few auto attacks. If you stay here, you're basically wasting your time because you could be grabbing more mobs. Like mage gameplay is always going forward, always moving, always generating big pools, because in small pools we are really bad as mages. We don't shine in small pools. We shine in big pools. So this is kind of a waste of time. Like you're using global cooldowns for 3 mobs, which are going to die regardless if you go north. So yeah. Just to clarify, I meant that he's going to kill those red mobs here, so it doesn't matter to finish the box there. Oh, he's going west. Okay. And then he goes north, or? Oh, wow. And then he backtracks. Okay, so I don't really like this, okay, but I'm going to say why I think he's doing this. So in the perfect world, here you should be going north, right? And everything will follow. If they don't follow 100%, you use Pedrito, and Pedrito is going to bring them to you. So the, let's think about this scenario. Leukino does what I'm saying, so you start doing the pull, and the pull is going to die whenever you want to transition north, right? So in my opinion, he should be doing this room right here, the big room, then going north and then southwest. Okay, but he does this room, then he does north room, and then he ends up kiting this pool, the big pool, in the west, and then he goes north and then west again. You want to try and avoid backtrack. There's a response that you cannot avoid the backtracking, but in here I think you can. The reason why he's not backtracking is because since he started late this pool, quote unquote late, now he cannot go through this right with this amount of mobs. But if he went up before, like couple of GCDs before, he could 100% do it. But yeah, right now it makes sense for his pool, for the state of his pool right now. It makes sense. Again, he you eat here too, so like you cannot fit these mobs in the narrow passage north. But yeah, I think this is bad. I don't like this. It makes sense for his pool in this situation. So I think for his pool is the best decision he could have made. But I think it can be improved and it's going to be better to not backtrack because here I assume he pulls the mobs here and then now he's going to go west. Yeah. See, so I mean, it's not terrible, it's well thought, but again, I think this is he created a problem and he's looking for the solution. But if you don't create the problem, you don't have to do the solution, right? So this is this kind of scenario. Please don't stay. Please don't stay. Please don't stay. No, stop, stop. No, Luquino, stop. Okay, you see this? This is kind of cringe, and this is a byproduct of that problem. Since he's this is the pool. He's like this pool is following him, and these boys are new pool, right? So what happens is that there are some of the mobs that are full HP when the other are pretty much dead. So you see how these guys are not even in HP. So let's count how many attacks he's wasting for two mobs. One global cooldown, two global cooldowns, three global cooldowns, four global cooldowns, right? That's four. Let's count how many global cooldowns he takes to kill a pool. I would guess around 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? Okay, so it's actually more than I thought. But let's think about it, right? So 13 turns to kill a pool, yeah? And he wasted 4 here. Do it 3 times and you lost a whole pool. A whole pool, like 8 mobs worth of experience for 3 mobs, right? So at the end of the day, it's a small things like this that impact a lot your XP hours. So what I mean is that he spent a lot of time, like 4 globals, so a third of the time it takes him to do a pull in just 2 mobs, right? If you do this every lap, you're going to lose a lot of XP in an hour. What he should have done instead, in my opinion, is just skip those mobs and you kill them next lap. If they are really unbalanced, good use of Pedrito here. If their HP is really unbalanced, you just skip and go next. Okay, really solid. Go north, east now. Okay, very nice, very nice. Yeah, okay, that's decent. Same here. I kind of would skip these ones, I think. I feel like you should just straight up go there because now you're like losing time in 4 mobs only. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in this one, but I kind of feel weird for this pool. But it's not bad, Like, what he's doing is not bad. I'm just looking for things to improve. Okay, that view is good. Now you go north, like yeah, go north, 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 north. You see, like he's okay. This was not that bad. It was only three global cooldowns. This is really good. This was a really good pass. Okay, you can stand here, so the mob here will see you and path towards you. This is really solid. Really good gameplay right now. Good, and then you go north, north. Pedrito. That's fine. Okay, really good UE with the bulk of the mobs. So now, if you do this way, I think that by the time you're down, they should be like red XP, and so you can go north. You know, like now you start pathing here, and by the time you reach this passage, you should be able to go north instead of following here. Again, this is a good solution to the problem you created, but if you don't create the problem, you don't need the solution, right? Okay, this is solid. Really good kiting. I really like how he kites. I think this is not a bad. I don't think it's the easiest spot to kite, but I don't think it's the hardest either. You know, but I think it's a good middle ground for learning how to kite because there's passages, but they are not super narrow. You know, see here. See, I'm 100% confident that he's going to finish all the mobs here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So basically, for 4 mobs, he spent a whole pool. You see what I'm saying? Again, this is originated because he created this problem where he goes east then north instead of sorry, west then north then west instead of east then north then east west. So you know this is unlucky, but yeah, be careful of the time you spend finishing the mobs. I know. No, it gives me like I need to do it because otherwise I get nervous. I need to finish the pool, bro. Like if you want efficiency, stop doing this. Like just like kill the bulk of the pool and then you go next. If the mobs are really unbalanced, if they are red HP and you know that 2 globals are going to finish them, then sure finish the pool, but otherwise just skip ahead, bro, like because you're losing a lot of time. Anyways, I think this is pretty solid gameplay for okay, he put some music randomly. I think that again, I think that Leukino did a really good job. I think it's a really good show of how to play ED. I think he's really solid. So to make a little bit summary of everything, I would change a little bit the gear, go a little bit more offensive, less cheap. I would 100% powerful Epiphany in my helmet. Then be aware of the time you spend in the boxes, right? Like when you finish the box, if there's like 4 mobs alive and they are like really high HP, you just go next. It's okay. Like, yeah, I know how bad it feels, but trust me, try it and you'll see that the XP is way better. Then another thing, I would try to keep track of the Pedrito, right? There's moments where you can Pedrito, but you did really good. And then the pathing for this personal specific respawn, I mean, just try to, in here in the intersection, try to go a little bit earlier north, and then you do a big lap. And by the end of the lap, you should be able to go north and then follow the route. Basically, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys found this useful. And if you have any questions, if you want me to analyze your gameplay, just upload it to YouTube, send me the link, and I will give it a look. So, anyways, boys, if you have any tip for Leukino or for me that you saw or something I said is not right, just write it in the comments. Have a good one. Happy New Year's, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.